ones you want to hide. All right. How are we doing? Let me do one last thing because otherwise, Google Plus. Your brother. That's nice. I need an updated browser for Google Plus. Well, isn't that nice? Is it going to let me do this? Let me try. It wants me to do the new Firefox. Let's see if we have Chrome. One of the things you're going to find, well, I didn't realize that you didn't have an updated Firefox or an updated, let me do a couple things about Google Plus. And because, first of all, you're going to find that Google Chrome works a whole lot better with Google Plus than other browsers. Right? I happen to like Chrome, and I like to use Chrome, but I'm just telling you. Now, let's see if it lets me do this. Save file. Downloads complete. Yeah, give me an example. I've used Google Chrome with car forms and the MLS. And I don't know if it's downloaded it yet or not. Let's see. All right. It may not let me run this. But there's two websites that you need to. Well, maybe I will be able to do this. One website, I might as well give this to you now. You have to write this down. gplus.to. gplus.to. All right. Now, the reason why we're doing this is that you're going to see in Google Plus, Google has assigned you an ID, which is like 50 numbers. Not quite 50, but more than 10. It's a long stream of numbers. So what's happening? Oh, Google Chrome, it's happening over here. All right. It's still installing. So it makes it very difficult to tell somebody what your Google Plus account is. You can have a link to it. You can send it to them. You can put it on a web page. You can put it on your Facebook page. But it's impossible to say, oh, my Google Plus is. What this does is I copied and pasted my Google Plus ID in here, and I have Mike Devlin and I have Michael Devlin, so you can't take it. And so all I have to do is tell somebody to you go to gplus.to/Mike Devlin. And they go right to it. That's just, it's not the most important thing, but I don't know why it's wanting to do that. All right. And Chrome is installing. The other thing that I would say that you want to do about Google Plus is, and if you can Google search this, but my Facebook feed is in Google Plus. And I have a browser extension. It works with Google Chrome and it works with Firefox. And what it'll do is I do Facebook out of Google Plus. Let me, hopefully we can get into Google Plus now. And by the way, I just want to say before everybody drops off, how many people do we still have there? 13. Wow, good. Next year, which means in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing a series of seminars on each of these different things that are in more detail, right? I mean, because you notice we've going fast, right? But we'll spend like an hour and a half on Google Plus and an hour and a half on Twitter and an hour and a half. We're going to do LinkedIn, even though most people won't pay, but also YouTube, which is more than just watching videos. All right. So I'm shocked that I can't get into Google Plus. Just shocked. Yes. No, this is a URL forwarding system, and so it allows me to forward it to as many places as I want to. So I just took Michael Devlin just to frustrate some other Michael Devlin someplace. Right, that's all. So all right, and everybody that's participating is going to be sent a notice of when I'm going to do these things. Right, but there'll be 5 of them. And it'll be more about actually we'll build a business page. There's programs like PageModo and Tab Site and other programs that you can get that'll help you build a page, and we're going to go through that. I can't do them all now, but I think I've covered the gist of yes. How long do you spend every day on this? Well, it all depends on what you mean. If you're talking about how long do I spend that is actually involved in the real estate marketing part rather than just playing around, you can do this in like 15 minutes a day. See, once you get the alert set up so that when you go to the reader, everything is just there. How long did it take me to put that article on Google Plus? Not very long. Yes, but and I have Google Alerts set for that. And I have a different blog. And integrating these things is something we'll talk about. But okay, let's talk about Google Plus. The first thing about Google Plus, we're logged into Google Plus. Remember that article about the 15 tips for green? There it is. Here are some of my, this is the home. These are photos. That's my profile. This is the first thing you want to click on, profile. Now, first of all, there's pictures. Hopefully yours are more attractive than mine. But what you want to do, notice it says edit profile. You're going to want to click on that. Now, if you look at what I've done, if you search, now there are people with my same name who are not, not necessarily good. All right. But if I say San Jose, so we skip look what comes up first. All right, notice that picture. Mike Devlin on Twitter. Look at this. It comes up on the top of the page, Mike Devlin Google profile. So I can't control what you say about me, but I can control this stuff, right? And if you don't have a Google profile, what most real estate agents want to do is claim their office as their Google page. Right? And that's not going to work. Google will get you, right? Only one person can have one place at any one time, and it's not the salesperson, and eventually they're going to take them all away, right? They've already begun doing this because a place is supposed to be a brick and mortar place, right? You're not a place, right? You're a person, and a person is a profile. Right? Now, people are getting away with it. I know that. But it just is a matter of time before Google comes in and takes it away. But so what you really want to do is to trick out your profile so that when people Google search your name, you look at, I've controlled. This one, by the way, is also me. Right? Look what comes up. Right? And these first 3 that come up are Twitter accounts that I have and my own Google profile. So look at what I've done on my profile. First of all, I have a link to my, it looks like that one I messed up a little bit. I have to edit it. Let me edit it. I did that. I changed that last night. So if I click on edit and I click here, and then what this should say is, by the way, I teach classes for people to get a real estate license. So if you know anybody who's interested in a rewarding, exciting career in real estate and they need to get their license, right? So I'm just going to copy that. Nobody's volunteering. So what we do is, and this is one of the most useful things, I click on link and all right. So this is www.kw real estate school.com, and I'll leave it. I can make the text something else. You can test the link just to make sure it's real. That's always a good thing to do. That looks like my website. So I click on OK. So now I have a hyperlink and my profile to my webpage. How's that? Notice, get a free ebook, How to Get a California Real Estate License. Huh? Right? And if somebody I'm in the edit mode, if they click on that, my WooFoo form pops up and they have to give me their name and their email address, and I send them a link to my free ebook. I'm using this for lead generation. Okay, and then you can have your background and you can write more, and you see there's a lot of things that you can do with this. You want to complete your profile, even if you don't want to ever use Google Plus, right? Because it's just too much and you got too much to do. You want to log into Google and fix your profile, because it's going to come up when people Google your name. And you might want to put links to your website, free reports, things to get them to opt in so that you can do something with it. All right, so I'm done editing, and this is the home, and it has the different groups I've created, and it has things that have been, it looks a lot like the Facebook thing, right? I can comment, I can hang out, I can share. These are photos. This is the big one. Oops, right here, circles. And so here are the different people, and I've got some circles and people in them. You notice when I highlight it, it pops up. I could create one for realtors, for affiliates, for past customers, for buyers, for sellers. And one of the things that I've learned that's another free tip, right? If I click on people who've added you, these are people that have added me to one of their circles. And if I go over here and I click on, oops, I'm missing it. And I click on not yet in circles, what it's going to do is it's giving me a list of the people that have added me in their circles that I haven't put in a circle yet. So let's say Sandra, who's now moved to Hawaii, I want her to go into acquaintances. I just pull her over and drop her in, and she's now in that circle. Yes, Martha, you're there too. I saved this just so you could see me doing it. All right. And then there's games and stuff like that. But the other thing you might want to do is a page, a business page. If we scroll down over here, where is it? Create a Google Plus page. We click on that. And this is going to look a lot like creating a page for Facebook. Is it a local business or place, product or a brand, company or institution, arts, entertainment, other? So we might, companies, organizations, institutions, local business, real estate agents always want to go with that. You put in your phone number, you locate it, they're going to want to try and look it up by your phone number. Sometimes the product or brand works better because they don't try to tie you down to a physical location and a special phone number. And this isn't very complicated, right? I'm not going to go through, but this is, you ought to have one of these, right? I'm just saying. And the other thing I want to do with Google Plus, let me go back up here. This is the page Hangouts. Remember we talked about that? That was like 3 hours ago, right? If I click on start a Hangout, this is where I can do a video chat with up to 10 people about something. All right, I could do a mini home buyer seminar. I know about you, the last home buyer seminar I did didn't have 10 people. You know, I mean, sometimes I've had 20 people, but you could do something with this, and you have to install a plugin. So I'm not going to do that. They also integrate your Gmail account, your Gmail chat, and everything. And you can't see my Facebook stuff because I haven't installed the plugin on this browser. But what happens when you install the Facebook plugin, and if you were to just click on, if you just go to Google search, and you click on Google Plus Facebook extension, how about that? And it's CrossWriter is the one. And if you click on it, it'll install this extension into your browser. And what that will do is it'll add a little button here, which is the Facebook F. And if I click on it, I see all my Facebook stuff. So I'm not bouncing back and forth. I can do, because you see, I also can send email out of here. I can chat with people. I can send text messages. For those of you who don't like to type in with your thumbs, you're like me, you got like sausage fingers, um, get a Google Voice account. You can get a 408 number. I use that for my main number. And what I tell Google Voice to do is that if I'm online, I'll answer it. If I'm not online, it'll forward it to my cell phone. I can answer it. If I don't answer it, it leaves a message with Google Voice. They transcribe it and email it to me. And I can chat with people from my Google Voice. So it means on a computer with a real screen, I can send somebody's cell phone a text message. And they can respond, and I can respond, and I can respond, and go back and forth. So I don't have to be texting people using thumbs on a little tiny handheld device. That was also a free tip. I thought I would go. So, are there any questions that you have right now, other than why didn't I cover more stuff? Yes. The first thing you should do is to fix your Facebook profile, because that's the big gorilla. And right now, according to the news that came out through you see how I get all this stuff. Today, Facebook is forcing everybody to move to that new look with the timeline. And that means you got to think about a cover picture. You can change your mind later. It could be something fun, like a Christmassy one now would be good. You could have you understand? You can make it look nice, and you want to look through you want to get your Facebook profile all fixed up, right? And then the second thing would be to have a Facebook page. And then the rest of the stuff, if you need to sign up for Twitter, then after that, that's the big one. A business page, right? A fan page, yes. They change the names all the time. They're now I think they're just called pages, right? Right. That's a fan page. And so, and boy, what do I have here? Pages, and I don't know if you saw, I went to create a page, and I have a one for real estate licensing, and you click on create a page and you go through that. And the nice thing is that the page becomes an entity. So you can post as your page. And then you can log in as you and make comments on your own posts and share your own posts from your page. Otherwise, people aren't going to go to your page, right? Because there's not a lot of interesting stuff there. And most of the time, they've done studies of this. When people like a page, they don't do anything anymore with it. They never go back. And just so this may be something you don't know about the Facebook timeline, let me just click on this one. If not everything is here. So not everybody, I've got 610 real estate agents. I don't see all their stuff. All of the stuff is going by on this ticker. And this ticker is sort of like a Twitter feed. In order for me to see the stuff, I have to click on their name and go to them and say I want to see all their stuff. But Facebook has an algorithm. If you saw the movie The Social Network, there was a scene where the guy playing Mark Zuckerberg is writing with a pen on a window these equations. I thought this was about pictures and posts. That was the algorithm that they use to determine what shows up in your newsfeed. So Facebook is screening what you see. And if you do not read, if you do not click on somebody's post, if you don't like, share, comment, or click on it, if you don't do that, they eventually disappear from your main feed. Now, you can go into your friends. Remember when we were in the timeline? Oops, let me go back. You can go into the timeline, and you can click on friends, and you can pick one. Let me see, who do I want to pick on? How about I'll pick on Martha? I click on Martha, and oops, back. Back. And what I can do, how about Leslie, since she's here? is there are different lists here that I can put her on. And where's the other thing that I wanted to do? I'm trying to find where that is into my preferences. The point I'm trying to make is that if you don't interact with the people, you won't see their stuff. But it all goes here on this ticker, right? That it's all moving by. And so what I do is I make it a point. Let's say somebody's a friend of mine, let's say a past client or something like that, and I make a point to click on their name every once in a while and read their stuff and click on some of the stuff. And then it comes into my news feed. So if you also need to know that if you don't post things that people click on, you eventually disappear. You think that when you're putting out to all your friends, they're all seeing it. They're not always seeing it, right? Because they haven't been clicking on it. All right, I'll show you. So I go over here and I click on this and I go to one of my pages, Pass the California Real Estate Exam. I am now logged in as Pass the California Real Estate Exam. All right, that's what I'm logged in as. And so if I went to something and this was about a career session I used to do, this is the Keep Internet, or let's say this is something I did through Ping, and I wanted to, if I wanted to like or comment, I'm now doing this as the page. But if I go back up here and I go back to myself and I go here to, come on. All right, I know. All right, so now I'm looking at the same page, but I'm looking it as me. And if I like, share, or comment, let's say I'm going to click share, what it's now going to do is it's going to pull up my post for the timeline. And now I could go down to real estate and I click on share a link. And what happens is that in my personal timeline, that link to my page appears. The only way you're ever going to get good interaction is through friends and interacting with them. They're not going to like your page. Not very many will. They won't go to your page again. They're not going to go there and read things. And if they don't click on it, it'll disappear from their timeline. So that's why you have to comment on their stuff. Because if I comment on something you posted and you comment back, Facebook's algorithm says, they're real friends. And then you start seeing all my stuff, right? You understand? And another sneaky thing I can do is, let's say there's an article. You can't overdo this. Let's say there's an article that I think Martha never likes, shares, or comments on any of my stuff, but there's an article I think she would like. I can tag her. Now, she's not mentioned in the article, right? She's not mentioned in the article, but she's probably going to click on it. Right. And as long as I don't do it to a point where it irritates her and she blocks me, right? Maybe it's something she really is. Now Facebook's algorithm says, Martha is interested in my stuff. And then my stuff starts to appear more in her newsfeed. Can you see why we could spend a whole class on just this, just Facebook posting? Right? Because most people don't realize, 95% of the people do not have friends lists. And most people do not understand that they are not seeing everything in their newsfeed. They do not understand that. Everything is in the ticker, but not in the newsfeed. Yes. Yes, I have people on multiple lists. It's real easy to do. For example, let me pick, it's real easy to do. All you have to do is find a person. So let me pick, click on real estate. If Kelly, let's say, if I click on her, now what's happening is this pops up. See this thing here says friends? I click on this. I click on show all lists. All of the lists are here, and I can just add her to another list. And this is something, by the way, when you friend somebody, like, for example, because I have so many friends, I keep getting, like how about this person? Cindy, how about this one? All right. So I click on her and I can look and see why. Look at all these different people, right? And so let me see how do I know her? I can tell from this. Okay. I think I know why. So I click on add friend and what I do, and if I mess it up, let's say I click on it and I messed it up, I can still go back here and because sometimes it messes around. Yeah. I go back here. I click on all lists. I scroll down till I find the one for her, which is this one, and I click on it. And now it's sent a friend request to her, and it already knows what list I want her in. I'll put her in both lists. So people can be in multiple lists. So you don't have to send grandmother information about the housing market in San Jose. And you don't have to send your past clients pictures of your niece's wedding. Right. Right. So you see, by putting them in these different groups, if I see, this is the easiest thing to do. If I click on family, and I do an update status, only the people that are on my list family are going to see this. If I click on real estate and I post something, only the people that are on my real estate list are going to see it. That's the easiest way. I can do it through my timeline, but this is a lot easier, right? So you work the list, right? If you're starting the 15 minutes business, click on your business lists, do that, right? Now you're only posting on that list. Then click on family. Then you can click on real friends, right? And you can tell them, you can talk to them and do whatever you're doing. All right. Yes. That's okay. No, that's okay. The putting links to real estate on your personal wall is not a bad thing. It's openly soliciting business on your personal profile. So you can only do that through your page, but you do that through your page and then you comment on it or share it on your personal profile. That's okay. All right. That's okay. But people do it all the time. They promotions and movies and that's if they took all that stuff out of Facebook, they wouldn't need an algorithm anymore, right? Because do you understand why they have the algorithm? Because you couldn't stand it if you saw everything, right? I mean, that's why that was the thing that made it work was him. That's what he was writing on the window, the equation to determine what people see, right? But this is not known by most people. All right, well, I'm sorry I went short and I didn't cover very much. But what I'm going to be sending follow-ups to all the people that participated. In January, I'm going to be doing more sessions, right? And you all get invitations if you would like to learn more about social networking. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm signing off.